Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Making. And in this episode, I'm going to do one of my favorite things, and that's fill these water brushes. These are super cheap water brushes off Amazon. I think I got a 12 pack. Yeah, something like a 12 pack of them for like $6. Put a link in the description. They are not great water brushes in that they suck the color back in when you're doing watercolor, but for this purpose of adding ink to them, that's fine. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a custom blend of ink. And we're going to find out how much liquid these hold. If only so we know. All right. I wonder what the best way of doing this is. I think actually. So I've got all the water that I use in watercolors and in my water brushes and when I do ink blends is filtered. I always use filtered water. So this is a blunt needle, blunt end syringe. It comes with the set comes with a bunch of needles that you can dial in there, and then also comes with these little silicone caps. Super nice. Anyway, I'm gonna measure out 5 milliliters of liquid or water, not liquid. Should have planned that better. Squirting water all over my surface. Okay. All right. So there's 5 milliliters. So we got 5 in there. So probably if we do 5 milliliters of water in each one of these, it's going to work as a good base. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna load up each of these with 5 milliliters of water, and then we will mix the custom ink blend. Apparently I put these on very tight. So the good thing, these do have a roll stop. I do like the handles on these, but they are very cheap. When I say they are very cheap, I mean they are not expensive at all, and they're not particularly well made. So trying to actually get, there we go. I don't know why I'm like stressing out about being exact here. This is not an exact science at all. So I do have a bit of a plan in terms of actually one of these I am planning on having just pure color in. I think actually I'm going to swap, I think the finest one, that's this one. I'm just going to put the straight color in, so that'll be good. Okay, so what I want from this is a, this particular blend, I want a yellowy brown color. And I'm going to use Diamine Yellow as my ink base for the yellow. And I'm torn between the Carcose Brown and Diamine Chocolate Brown. I think I'm going to go Diamine to Diamine for this yellowy brown shade. And I think I'm going to do 5 milliliters of the yellow and 2 milliliters. I'll do two to 5. Just to, this will be a lot. Actually, should do, okay, there's a 5 milliliters of yellow. And actually, I think I'm going to put another 2. And I want to have enough of this to fill that full, the full brush. And then I think for this, I'm going to do 1.5 milliliters. Clean that off so I don't contaminate my brown. So 2.5. Maybe a little extra. It's really satisfying to watch. I will fully clean this later. But for now, so for the one that I'm gonna fill, I'm just gonna go ahead and put, let's get the cap on that before I spill it. I hope I hit, I did. A little worried sometimes that I don't hit record. All right, we'll give this a little bit of a mix with the needle. And then draw in five milliliters. All right, that's going to give us enough to fill this entirely full, and then get a couple of ranges. Okay, so that's pure color, pure ink. Now, I think I'm going to do a stronger amount in this one, and this is going to be very light. So to get the ink in there, I'm going to do drops. So we're going to do droplets. I'm going to use a pipette. So let me put a predetermined number of droplets into this. And I do want to test how strong they are. This is going to be the weakest, and this will be a little stronger. So I think I'm going to start with like 10 drops in this one, and we'll see how that looks. That looks pretty weak, so I'm gonna add another 10 drops. All right, that looks a little better. And I am going to do the testing in my sketchbook. Did a little blackout poetry. I think this is going to be too light. Well, I don't really forget. Oh, actually, I think that's a great mid-tone. That's a good mid-tone. I'm happy with, well, I'm not looking for a mid-tone here, am I? I want like a darker tone. This would be perfect in the medium size. Oh, wait. I wanted the mid-tone in here. All right, no, this is good. That's good. Okay, so 20 drops in 5 milliliters of water gives me a really nice mid-tone for my page. And that's a nice color. Okay, so for this one, I think I want to double it. I think what I want to do is put 40 milliliters, or 40 drops, not 40 milliliters. All right, here we go. 40 drops. All right. So I do know if I were being super precise, the number of drops can actually be metered out into milliliters or partial milliliters. I don't know what those numbers would look like though. I can already tell this is significantly darker. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm gonna hit that with the heat gun, see how it looks when it's dry. All right, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And one of the things you can do with this is you can layer the ink over itself and get darker tones. You can increase the value through layering. Yeah, that's going to work. Okay, so these are going to be similar. I've got a smaller round and a larger round, so I'm going to do 20 and 40 again. All right, let's start with the 40. So I'm trying to be precise-ish, but I know I'm not being exact. So these have never been used. These are fresh, brand new water brushes, literally just got them. I feel like that is not as dark as that one. Might be because it's just not dry yet. I feel like I need like 5 more drops in there. And some of this is just, you know, it's not precise. I mean, it can be. Could have measured out, you know, an exact milliliter amount. It could also just be because it's not dry yet. Okay. Now for this one, we're going to do 20 drops. Okay. Oops. Looks good. And no, I never did test the one with the straight ink in it. So, yeah, that's a nice golden brown. Let's see. The difference in tone. So these inks are water soluble. They are not waterproof by any stretch. So if I use these, I'll have to use them with waterproof ink or like a gel pen and not watercolor because it'll just blend with watercolor. All right, let's check this out again. We're gonna do, let's do the lightest shade first. I'm gonna test these and make sure they're similar enough. Not that they really have to be, but all right, there's our mid-tone. And here's our other mid-tone. Yeah, those are pretty tonally close. That's good. I like that. And then that's our pure. And here's our other flat with our mid-tone. Wait, did I? Oh, this is the darker mid-tone. These are darker mid-tone. And then our other darker mid-tone. And then the pure color. All right. I am pretty excited about that. And I can tell that in my flat where I didn't like it and I added an additional 5 drops, that actually made quite a difference in value. Like the tone that is quite a bit darker, so and much closer to this. Let's get that dry and see what it looks like. All right, so for the large round, I'm actually going to go ahead and add a little bit of water to that to bring it down. I think that'll do. And it won't be perfect yet because it's got to push out some of the color. But I can tell that's light enough. That's good. Close enough. It's not that important if it's exact. I just like it to be close so that I know what I'm working with. All right, I like that. All right, in the pen that is straight ink, I'm gonna see how much of what's left I can fit in there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit it all. Nope. Got more left than I would have expected. Now, in a perfect world, I'd also have this ink in a fountain pen. In my, like, I'd like to have the same color in a much more controllable item like a fountain pen. So, but what was it? 7 milliliters of yellow, and then the 2.5. So about 10 milliliters of ink was about the right amount to get all of those brush pens taken care of. All right, I'm distracted by trying to grab all the ink into the eyedropper, which actually is not particularly useful. I could store, you can store ink in one of these little pipettes, and now I'm getting ink all over myself. All right, I need to stop this before I get ink everywhere in my studio. All right, so I'll do a drawing or some sort of sketch with this, and you'll get to see it in action. I have used this before. If you've seen my videos that I do with like where I do the negative space or the big shapes first, I have a bunch of drawings of vehicles that I've done that I use these water brushes filled with ink. So I've got a bunch of these already up on YouTube where you can see them. this is a problem with this particular brush pen. The thing doesn't seal well, and so you get ink seepage around the handle. Not great. Anyway, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully you can use this technique. Thanks and bye.